Welcome everyone to our Leaders by Head and Heart series. Previously, we received Von Leong from Singapore who shares some actions taken to reduce the impact of COVID-19 in Singapore. Today, we are happy to welcome Richard Yim. Richard is the CEO of Demine Robotics, a company that is building technology to clear explosives such as landmine and Improvise Explosive Devices. In 2018, he was named to Forbes Asia 30 under 30 and recently selected as ASEAN Top 40 under 40. Welcome, Richard.
Hi, thank you very much for having me.
So the first question will be related to the intellect. What are the main challenges from removing landmines from an area, and how does your company, Demine Robotics, solve and bring efficient solution to this problem? Thank you.
Right, so the problem with building the technology that we are building today is that we're trying to do something that nobody have done before. And that is building a small size excavator that can dig out explosive without blowing them up. So then we can use it for removal or relocation of explosives like bombs, landmine, or IED. And the problem with the whole situation is that with different type of explosives, they have different mechanisms. So we need to understand how it all kind of work together, and also build it in a small scale, small size machine that allow us to transport into various places. In fact, the technology that we have today is the very first time that a robot can dig out a landmine or an explosive without direct human interaction. In fact, we have 3 international patent filed in the UK, in the US, and in Canada. So building some new technology is always challenging in terms of how to get people convinced, so then they can believe and trust the technology, because for a long time, there's many teams that has been trying to build the technology itself. But the technology advancement back 10 years ago or 15 years ago is not the same today. And so a lot of those teams struggle in building the technology that makes sense, that's practical, also have a good budget, so then different organizations can afford. So I think we came in at a really good time that the technology advanced enough that we now can build something affordable for them to use.
Thanks, Richard. The second question will be related to your purpose in life and a message for the younger generation. Can you explain the why behind Demine Robotics, and if you have perhaps a special message for the youth on how to live a life with purpose? Thank you.
Right, thank you very much. That's a great question. So Demine Robotics is something that hit close to home for me, for sure. I was born in Cambodia. I live in the countryside before, where I see the issue with landmine is very prevalent. When I was growing up, a common dinner timetable topic would be not to run anywhere when I go out, to stay on the paved road, to stay on the beaten path, and that was the message. And it's not just happened with my family; it happened with a lot of family. That's what they tell their kids from my generation. And so, having seen the effect of landmine on civilians, back in the 90s, if you walk to the market, if you walk by the riverbank, you can see landmine victims lining the street asking for money, and that is a common scene. And so for me, doing this is about changing the world in a better way, to making impact. Even though Cambodia, we have solved landmine problem to a certain degree, and there's still left to do. Other countries are struggling with explosives such as landmine that Cambodia have faced 20 years ago. So hopefully we can make a lot of impact here in Cambodia and around the world, because I remember when I was growing up, I missed something that a lot of people in the developed world take for granted, and that is the freedom to walk. And I want to give that feeling to all the kids around the world, no matter where you were, no matter where you were born or you are born, you will be able to walk, you will be able to enjoy the freedom to go where you would like to go. It doesn't have to be on paved road. It doesn't have to be on beaten path. And I think that's the goal and the aim for Demine Robotics as a whole. And Demine Robotics as a whole is more than me. It's our whole engineering team, our whole management, our whole support that has been working with us since the beginning. And the message that I have for the young kids or for anyone that watching this, and this quote stuck in my head for a long time. And I forgot who said it. And recently it's applied to me more than ever, to kind of keep focused, especially during COVID, to keep motivated. And the quote is, live your life as if it is your second chance. And I think that hit me very hard because it's easy to get demotivated, especially during COVID crisis where everything is locked down. It's hard to continue working days in and days out, putting more than 40 hours a week on projects that you are working on the positive impact that you're hoping to make, because the impact that you're trying to achieve will not come easy. It will not come tomorrow, right after you decide to work on something. It will come from years of hard work, from years of headaches and heartbreak. It is a tough thing. So to keep yourself moving, just remind yourself right before you die, if you ask for another 10 years so then you can live and do something, well, do it now. And for me, that kind of opened my eyes up to a lot of possibility and realized there what's important to me and what's not important, and to focus on what's very important to me. And I think that's the key to a hope. I hope a lot of people can take something away from that.
Thanks, Richard, for sharing this inspiring message, but also for your significant work for Cambodia, but also other parts of the world. So we are already arriving at the end of this interview. So finally, at the end of the session, I'm asking each guest speaker to pick 3 words of their choice and to explain them. Thank you.
Right. This is a really good question because I think it's what kind of hit most to home. And I would like to say the first word, passion. I think I picked the word passion as the first word because it drives a lot of your action and a lot of your motive. It drives what I think life is full of passion, and it doesn't have to be in work. It could be how passionate you are to your family, to the hobbies that you're working on. So passion is very special. I think the second is endurance, and that's not talking about just running endurance. It's endurance in life. Life is a marathon, and you got to make sure you have enough in the tank to continue forward in your dream. And that leads me to the last question, to the last word, and that is dreams. I think if we live without dreaming, if we live without looking ahead to the future, without being an optimist, I think life is not worth living then. And so, and I think at the end of the day, all the 3 were connected. You got to have the dream, and then you have the passion to drive toward your dream, and to make sure you have enough endurance on your journey to get there. And so I think the 3 word is what I kind of remind myself every day. And when you ask me that question, I mean, I'm happy to share what I've been thinking all along for many years, but never got a chance to share.
So thanks, Richard. Next week, we will receive Miss Shomi Chowdhury from Bangladesh, a multi-award winning water sanitation and hygiene activist. Thanks again, Richard, and have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Ravindra. Bye-bye.